and welcome to OWXL League Season 3. This is Week 2. Oasis, the champion tier between Sevenfold and Eternity Esports. Both coming off solid wins in Week 1, ready to get this game started, looking for the win in Week 2 to continue some supremacy at the top of this tier. Just 4 teams, so we'll get a chance to see a lot of games between them. They'll get to know each other very well through the course of the season. But the first matchup between these two, Sevenfold and Eternity Esports. Ready just about getting everybody in the lobby and making sure we have the readies from both captains. Looking back on Week 1 for both these teams, Sevenfold coming in, I believe one of the last games played in Week 1, and they played against, I believe that was Big Throws getting the win there. And Sevenfold, interesting to note, played in Season 2, completely swept the top division. And when I say completely swept, I mean not only did they win all their games, I believe they won every round of every game they played. Very strong. We've got a little bit more competition for them this season, and ready to see what Eternity has for them. So again, let's make sure that everybody is ready to get started, and we'll get going. I'm your host, Salt and Pepper, and really excited to come in on a fantastic Friday, and appreciate you guys watching. If you are, the Dallas game's on, Dallas-Los Angeles Valiant game for the Overwatch League, but happy to have you here with us if you're watching. So yeah, ready to go to Oasis. Again, this is a themed kind of start to the season. It'll be Oasis for every team and every tier to start out their first map this week, and then the loser of this match actually goes and takes the pick for the second map. So a lot to play for here, a lot on the line. Again, everybody wanting to get those wins to get their season started off on the right track. So without further ado, we'll head to Oasis. I didn't get a chance to look back. I believe it was SNK that did the champion tier game for Sevenfold and Big Throws. I didn't get to catch that game. I usually try and watch all of them, so I'm familiar with the teams, but I wasn't able to catch that one. But we did cast the Eternity game against Alice A. Incredibly entertaining. I think Eternity played really well, so excited to get a good look at Sevenfold for the first time. Obviously very strong, like I said, in Season 2, but made some changes throughout the off-season, and coming in with a new team. See what they have for us. Alright, on Oasis as the comps start to shape up, it's T2X for Sevenfold there, and the blue on the left, going Winston. Vinny, undecided, may go Zarya, plays a very good Zarya, but they've already got Regret Sin on the Diva, so may swap out elsewhere. Blur 7F going Mercy, full auto kill 47 on Moira. McStanky going Pharah. For Eternity Esports on the right, the red team, Chesko going Mercy, Whistling Butcher on the Roadhog, Brewmaster going Tracer. Lil Hulk, still trying to figure it out. Maybe they'll go another tank. There's the Orisa. Ryukin going Pharah, and Pingu on that Lucio. I don't believe we got to see Chesko on the stream last week for Eternity. They may have played without, but Pingu filled in that Mercy role very well. So I see flexibility there. Vinny decided to go Reaper, and McStanky now switching to Genji. So interesting comp here. Very light, nimble, looking to get in, get some damage. Wasting no time, coming in immediately. It's a fair combo, pharmacy combo rather, with Chesko and Ryukin here at the top, and the fight breaking out above here. It looks like 7F maybe going into the inside, trying to get a little bit of that protection from the wall and get damage in through the point. Control point hasn't opened up just yet. It will here in about 5 seconds or so, but still just the fight breaking out. Nobody's fallen, but now it's Regret Sin low going out of mech, not quite able to take down that pharmacy combo. The pilot does fall, T2X does as well, and now it's Eternity Esports with the 6v4 on the point. Members of 7F continue to fall, and this will go red for them to start. Vinny racing through, dies immediately. I'm just going to have to regroup with his team there. McStanky, the last to fall, and Eternity can really start earning some serious percentage on the point here. Impressive to see Ryukin with the Rocket Barrage try to use it there, stopped immediately. I think they kind of saw that coming pretty easily, and it didn't quite pan out for them. Now the hook falling there for Whistling Pusher doesn't quite connect, and now coming back into the point. Sevenfold looking to start earning some percentage of their own. They do start to earn the kills here. Lil Hulk and Pingu dropping off for a second, and now starting to fall, and I believe they will get the possession here. 38% gone. But now Chesko with the late Valkyrie to come back in and res these players. I don't know if they have a full team. They won't really be able to engage this little Hulk in a tough spot by himself, trying to get healed by that Mercy, but just too much damage coming in. Now it looks like Eternity is trickling in a little bit. They may have to back off. And unfortunate to see the Valkyrie kind of go a little wasted there, but have an opportunity to come back in and engage once more. They do have another support all in the Pingu sound barrier on your screen there. Brewmaster the only other one for them with that pulse bomb. But no ults on the other side, except for the Valkyrie from Blur. So this next engagement could go their favor. But they'll have to be quick about it. There's the initiating sound barrier there from Pingu coming in, trying to engage at 7F here. Already the kills going their way as they take out Regretsit and Vinny in full auto, all dropping. The Valkyrie coming out from Blur, though, earned just recently, able to grab a couple back, and now McStanky entering one as Whistling Butcher falls. Looks like maybe Sevenfold might be able to galvanize a little bit, but I still see more red bodies as it looks like Eternity may be able to wrap this up. 52% gone and still climbing here for the current defenders, and they can't quite, Eternity can't quite get the possession just yet. And now it's just a very picky Blur, continuing to contest as long as possible. Vinny's still holding the point for their team. They finally do flip it back, 63% gone, and now it's 40% coming up for Eternity, starting to build a little bit more percentage here. McStanky just in on the backline, getting a lot of damage in and combining well with the tanks and the rest of the team to take down Regret Sin. Now 7F will have to retreat momentarily. Wait for him to come back in. Also on either side here, T2X with the Supercharger, Vinny with the Death Blossom. They can combine that well. A lot of damage coming through that Reaper. Full auto kill with the Transcendence. A fantastic goal here from Whistling Butcher on T2X will effectively end that attack for them. They're already disadvantaged, but now the Death Blossom coming out doesn't catch anyone. Vinny trying to use that there, doesn't quite work out. The Transcendence coming in as well, and now they're just kind of like staggering their ults a little bit in a way that's not as effective as maybe they'd like, using them so individually instead of combining. I'm surprised to see that from 7F. Generally a very strong team, but Eternity making the most of their opportunities here as they take control of the point, 82% to the 63 earned by 7F so far. Regretsin still has the Graviton though, or just earned the Graviton rather, and can combine with T2X and that Supercharger if they want to try and retake this point. On the other side, it's just the sound barrier and two more ults, I guess, the tank ult, Whistling Butcher, Whole Hog, and that Pulse Bomb on the way for them. But now as the Supercharger does come out into the fight, the sound barrier comes into respawn. Very good Graviton does catch 3, but Whistling Butcher pushes back the rest of this attack. The overtime meter threatens to tick down, but comes back up to 7 and moves into the point. And still not really able to gain a lot of ground just yet. Kills going back and forth as Little Hulk and Regret Sin just alternating there on the feet. Trying to stay alive, Pingu dancing around as Lucio is able to do so, but now Blur's Valkyrie could be a lifeline for them, able to pick up Vinny in full auto to keep them strong on the point, and they start to earn the percentage here. You see it coming up, and they will be able to flip this back at 99%, 65% for them, and they'll hope to continue pushing here. Yeah, just a clutch of Valkyrie there from Blur to be able to get that up, stay alive, and earn the ultimate to get the rest of the members of the team up. Looked like they were in dire straits, but able to push this point back, and now they're the ones on the attack looking to wrap up this first round. Already the damage coming in here, and it's going to be difficult for them. McStanky does have the Rocket Barrage and will look to use it. Vinny getting the kills early on Little Hulk, that'll be really helpful for them. Full auto with another Transcendence, trying to keep the attack strong, but not a lot of ults. He's trying to repel at the time, could have just been team members low. 96, 97% gone for them. It's really starting to go get into overtime. Now coming in from behind, that was Ryukin able to use one Rocket Barrage, but the Valkyrie will keep him right back up. McStanky uses the Rocket Barrage there, is able to get Pingu. Full auto will take down Ryukin, and get kills going either side as no one really has too much supremacy. Yeah, and it does look like Eternity may be able to take this back here. It's just Regretsin and McStanky, the rest of the team members trying to filter back into the point, but they'll have to be quick about it. The Supercharger helping there, and again, the Valkyrie from Regretsin picked up the rest. It will be a 7-fold victory there in the first round. And impressive from them, obviously earning the point back in overtime for Eternity, able to flip that back and take the first round on Oasis. Off to a good start. Now it's a couple changes coming in. McStanky switching over to the Genji off Pharah. Vinny on McCree, that I believe you switched to late after that Death Blossom on the Reaper. For the other side, Little Hulk now going Reinhardt and Whistling Butcher on the Zarya instead of Roadhog. Ryukin now on Soldier, presumably to deal with the expected Mextanky Pharah, but won't find him there, still could be helpful. Coming in immediately, Eternity taking the high ground and trying to get that charge a little bit early there is Whistling Butcher on the Zarya, still maintaining that high ground, not really being threatened too much, and the control point opening about 5 seconds or so. Brewmaster here on the bottom looking to get a little bit of, at least be a little bothersome here, but has to retreat for health somewhat. As the point opens up, it's 7F with a little bit of the advantage over halfway of the control point earned as Eternity starts to move back in. No one really with an advantage just yet, but now as Vinny falls, maybe Eternity on the front foot looking to capture this point early. Ryukin adds one on T2X, and yeah, things starting to go their way. And as Blur falls, that looks like it will be an Eternity wrap up here, this team fight win for them, and yeah, control point starts to go. They'll get this and looking to earn, or rather win this round and force the third after dropping what looked like a pretty, I wouldn't say guaranteed win for them, but a very strong position to win that last game. Couldn't let it go, and then Sevenfold took the advantage there. Now Vinny with a very solid shot on Ryukin just to take him out of the high ground. Gets res there, but has Vinny right in his face, tries to get him from the distance, and looks like he will be able to get away. The Deadeye, though, will finish the job, I believe. Maybe he got a shield or something. I don't think he actually did fall. But now it's still Eternity on the point, kind of getting surrounded a little bit by the 7F attackers, and they start getting the kills here. You see Ryukin, Growmaster, and Lil Hulk fall in the feed. Whistling Butcher will retreat to respawn with the rest of the team. And Sevenfold starts to earn their first percentage of this round. Mextanky with the Dragon Blade, may look to use that here soon. Blur, who used such a clutch Valkyrie in the last round, has another one here. The other side, 3 ults, and Screwmaster with the Pulse Bomb. Lil Hulk's Shatter maybe could combine, or could be the Tactical Visor as well. But now as Lil Hulk comes in with Benny, they force the res early, and Benny in a tough spot immediately. Mextanky falls, they won't have the res for it, and it's Lil Hulk now dropping. Kills going either way, but the Tactical Visor from Ryukin could start turning it their favor. Full auto kill, getting the res and deciding to use the Transcendence there just to keep his team alive. I like that from them. Just continue defending the point as they creep up on the percentage earned by their opponents. Graviton now coming out from a res in, grabs a couple, but they can't wrap up. The Graviton from the other side on Whistling Butcher combines with the Deadeye to grab 2. That's both supports, a fantastic kill for Vinny. And now trying to wrap up at this point, it's Vinny still trying to defend, but I think they're doing a fantastic job, honestly. Able to get these kills. He may get mowed down here. But he's got a little bit of help. That will be the last member dropping there. T2X falling, and it will be Eternity taking the point back. But really impressive there from Vintage to get that kill. I wonder if we have that from them. Just continue defending. You see him come in with this couple good kills here. Yeah, solid Deadeye there. On the supports to effectively end that fight for them. Or rather to try and turn the fight their favor, but not quite enough. Now they're coming back into attack here. 59% eclipsed, and now it's going back and forth this game. The Shatter coming in from Lil Hulk is able to pin T2X and trying to get that damage in, but now worse off for it as he does fall there. Brewmaster did get 2 kills, and again, just things going back and forth. Both teams very just really evenly matched, hotly contested. The Valkyrie coming in from Chesko will pick up the Lucio and Lil Hulk there. Ryukin now will add things, kind of swing the pendulum the other direction by getting 2 kills on that the Tactical Visor. A very strong hold there from Eternity, coming up on 83% of the percentage. And 7F will have to rethink this next attack. They've got time to work with, though. Just a little bit, but they don't need to be too terribly hasty. 10% to go, and they can be smart about this instead of dying right here at the choke. As it starts to really tick that direction, though, they'll have to be persistent with their attack. 4% to go. And at the last second, looks like they will not be able to get on in time. I really thought that Mextanky on there would be able to get all the way through and jump over the side. You saw him there at the bottom of the screen, but not quite able to get on quickly enough. It's like time got away from them. Tied it up 1-1 here for Eternity Esports, and now we have everything to play for going into the 3rd round on Oasis. A little bit shocking there to see Sevenfold relinquish the opportunity to get back on the point. They definitely had the team members to do it, and Mextanky absolutely could have gotten over the wall to start that defense, or rather that contention as the rest of his team came in, but not quite able to get it there. And yeah, they may regret that.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
So now coming back into the point, Vinny trying to get kills early, Blur falling immediately, and that'll be difficult for 7F as they engage here. Little Hulk adds one more in T2X, and once again, it could be Eternity taking the first point. They definitely have the advantage. Vinny trying to get a little bit of damage there, and Chesko able to get away. And as the control point starts to open up, the kills still going the way of Eternity, as they should be able to wrap up this control point pretty easily. Been a strong attack for Eternity so far. We'll see if they can hold on to this long enough. We've seen this game go back and forth already, so I expect 7F to have an opportunity on the point and defend again. But already a very solid match, and like I said, just nice to see at 7Volt with a little bit of competition in the league. As Little Hulk comes in, swinging that hammer really big, is able to grab T2X, keeps going, getting healed there by Chesko, and able to get the Fire Strike on Max Stanky, put the icing on the cake. Blur falls as Ryukin comes in with the Tactical Visor on full auto. Vinny falls as well, and that is an incredible just hold there for Eternity. Very dominant from them. I don't think they had any members fall, and looks like 7F may have to rethink how they come into the this next engagement. Regrets in, and now answering back for them, winning the Tracer battle against Brewmaster with the headshot there, able to help them as they come back. They do have the numbers advantage, so they'll have to be determined with how they come in, but they do have an opportunity to really take this here. But now T2X sees Chesko, goes for him, able to get away with the Valkyrie before the Shatter comes through. The Sound Barrier, however, will keep 7F alive, but the Graviton will keep them put as the Primal Rage from T2X trying just to repel and absorb damage. Vinny going in with the Dragon Blade, able to grab a couple, and the kills going either way as the control point tips over 75% for Eternity. Pin from range trying to take 7 Blur out rather, but will fall. T2X falls as well, and once again it's Eternity getting the kills they need to hold on to this point. 84% gone for them. This team fight essentially over. 2 ults in their pocket and everything going right. Giving full auto a little bit of charge there, may not be able to power him down. We'll get to walk away with that, but now the fight breaking up outside of the point. They're just trying to keep them off the point for right now as it goes into overtime. But 7F able to come back and come from the backside there, able to get back onto the point just to keep that meter alive. And now as the fight really starts to come out, we may see also Screwmaster has a pulse bomb that looks to use that here pretty soon. Rez is on either side. Go for these Mercies, so those are on cooldown. Pounds Blur in the Valkyrie able to grab a second. Brewmaster did use the pulse on Zarya, though Rez there. And now as Ryukin comes in with the Tactical Visor in a very good position here to wrap up this game for them, and I believe it will be Eternity winning this game. Yeah, just a little bit too strong there for 7F, able to win that and looking to continue that momentum on the next map. Vinny with McCree got quite a few solid kills. We saw the one replay there, but just clinical. I think the switch off of Reaper helpful for them. Obviously not enough to win in this game, but in the right place, the right time for a lot of those, and incredibly accurate. That'll be a bit of a consolation. Not quite able to take this map, but can come back in the second. We'll get the map pick from 7Volt. We'll be right back. So like I said, in round 1, Eternity Esports coming away with that win, but 7Volt not losing a single round last season. did win 2-1, so they did lose one against, I believe it was, like I said, Big Throws last week. But now in a hole here, looking to come back against Sevenfold on the map of their choosing. Haven't gotten a pick from them yet, but expect maybe... Yeah, they did defend the point pretty well when they were able to take it, so expect maybe like a hybrid map. See what they decide. Really solid game though. Again, we saw in the first round Sevenfold a little iffy with some of that ultimates used, but we're able to win that round. And then in subsequent rounds, Eternity kind of galvanized a little bit, found their groove, and were able to get the wins. Looks like the next map is crowd favorite Kings Row. Again, a hybrid pick, good from them. I think that's a good pick. Again, last week we were on Eichenwald and we saw the second map for the losing team come out and usually be a control point. So interesting that that's kind of flipped now. We had Kings Row on the game yesterday as well for the second map type. So I think that is just very popular maps indeed. But hopefully the hybrid will work out for them. Sevenfold, I believe, defending first here. So if they're able to hold strong, they will have make quick work of the second round and force the third. If not, Eternity Esports well on their way to a League 2 victory. So we'll get the readies from both captains and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Entering Kings Row.
Alright guys, thank you for your patience, but here we are on Kings Row. Good hybrid map pick, and like I said, I think it is Sevenfold defending first, so kind of everything in their hands here. If they're able to put on a strong hold, a good chance to take this map. Tomorrow night, we have quite a few OWXL games on deck for you. From the rival tier, it's Revenant and Hogpen Esports. Tentatively, I believe that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then it's Positive Toxicity and N7 facing off at 9 p.m. Eastern. I believe also at 9 p.m. it's Big Throws and Atlas A, the other two teams from this tier. 9 p.m. Eastern. Then at 10 p.m. Eastern, Beats by Lucio and Daddyland. Daddyland coming off a strong first week win against Revenant. Beats by Lucio looking for their first win of the season. So hopefully that goes well.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Again, all that starts for you at 8 p.m. Eastern, so I'll probably have multiple streams going, if possible. We'll get all those channel tags out to you so you can get on whichever game you prefer to see. But now for the defenders, sevenfold, it's T2X on that Reinhardt, Vinny going Zarya, Blur, 7F on Mercy once again, full auto kill on Zenyatta, Regretson playing Roadhog McStanky on the Soldier. For the attackers, Chesko on Mercy, Whistling Butcher going Zarya, Brewmaster again on that Tracer, Lil Hulk on Winston, Ryukin going Genji this time, Pingu on Lucio, diving into the back as Lil Hulk trying to get some kills, is able to get 7F, but will drop for it, Regretson taking him down, so now it's pretty even on the point, but now both supports down for the defenders, and the attack here in a very good position to start taking this point. They won't have any healing, and if they're aggressive, they can really take this. Regretson, the hook kind of falling flat and not able to get that kill, he will fall, and that's an incredibly aggressive attack there. Oh, from Eternity, able to take that point within the first 45 seconds or so, at least start earning some serious percentage. They'll have it completely capped by the time, before this even hits a full minute. And a strong push from them, able to come in assertively, take that. 7F reeling a little bit. Nobody close to ults, really. Actually, right, can I say that? And is pretty close to a Dragon Blade. We may see that in the next fight. Brewmaster also with a Pulse Bomb could make things interesting. And nobody really close on the other side, however. And now it is Ryukin's Dragon Blade going off, trying to get a couple melted down pretty quickly there. I think they were maybe, I don't know, expecting it, but as soon as he came in, focusing down very well. Whistling Butcher rezzed back for Chesko as Brewmaster takes down McStanky. Good Pulse Bomb there, but Chesko in Valkyrie able to pick up another. Ryukin this time getting the better. It's one person pushing the payload back for Eternity as the rest of them just push back these defenders, and everything kind of going their way there. Just ripping through this defense like tissue paper. 4 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock. Will be one more team fight, presumably before this next control point, the next checkpoint rather. But there are a few ults for the defenders. One of them will come out here as they grab up the entire team, but no one's really able to take as big advantage. Regretson trying to use the whole hog, but caught in a graviton of his own. Full auto helping out with the Transcendence. Now they're starting to get a few kills as McStanky's Tactical Visor takes down that Genji. Blur's able to raise back Vinny, so they do have an advantage coming to the point. That Shatter will catch a couple, but the damage isn't there. Now as Chesko falls, things kind of going the way for the defense. Lowell trying to answer one back, but he's the only one as McStanky takes down his teammate. Regretson finally dropping him, and the feed going blue for the defense for the first time in this game. Sevenfold finally stopping the bleeding a little bit, 4 minutes on the clock, and on the doorstep of that second checkpoint, but holding well in that fight. Had to use almost all their ults, however, to do it. But no ults on the other side either, so in a relatively good position. I do have the Valkyrie, like I said, which will be helpful. Those have been used really well by Blur and well timed. Now as the attack breaks out again, the attack wasting no time, rather coming directly to the point, trying to get some kills. McStanky, however, catching Lil Hulk early, and that'll be a bit of a disadvantage for them, as now they only have just the 5 members. But now the Dragon Blade coming up for Ryukin, he's a little low, but able to pick up McStanky. Grabs another on full auto. But now the Reds coming back in for Blur, able to grab both the 2 that just fell and continuing to get the kills they need to wrap up at this point. Just a few of these Eternity members left. Oh, and now the Graviton coming out here from Vinny, catches quite a few. Regretson finally getting to use that whole hog the way he'd like. And yeah, they'll repel them once more. That's a very good hold. Another minute off the clock, 3 minutes to go. Ult coming out once more as the Graviton comes in from Whistling Butcher. The Transcendence from full auto exactly time where it needed to be and able to avoid a lot of the damage. The fight's still breaking out, but now Blur 7F falls, and that'll be difficult for them. Lil Hulk grabs one of Stanky as Vinny answers back, but it's still a bit of a disadvantage here for the defenders as the attack comes in with some strength. Vinny is grabbing a couple though. Zarya is swapping kills there as Whistling Butcher grabs one. It really is just back and forth in the kill feed, but finally it is Eternity Esports still standing. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left as they will cap this second checkpoint. Vinny contesting slightly, but then dropped full auto in a tough spot and gets melted down. Stanky, however, with damage from range, is able to take down Little Hulk, so they'll have to wait at least a second before they come back in. Whistling Butcher grabbing, or getting another kill, or rather dying, sorry, Stanky taking him down. And yeah, nice to be able to, again, plug up that attack and force them to regroup a little bit. Blur 7F, who we haven't had on stream too often, but has been influential with a lot of these Valkyries and just getting into good positions, being able to keep the team alive. T2X getting the kill there on Lil Hulk early, and that'll be definitely helpful for them taking down one of these attackers before the attack even really gets going. Gretson out of mech though, and could be in a tough spot, getting healed well there by the Mercy. Ult start to build on either side. Full auto will have a Transcendence soon, but now it's the Graviton coming out from Vinny, looking to grab a couple. There's a Shatter coming out from Lil Hulk, though, will kind of send things the other direction. He's able to grab two as McStanky has a couple as well. The Fair continuing to do work up there. And surprised that we haven't seen a hit scan from the attackers yet. Though I say that McStanky, playing Fair in this kind of tight third section, it's difficult sometimes to have a Fair with those ceilings, but showing it's not an issue, and instead of using a hit scan, it will just be Ryukin on that Fair also, just trying to keep him distracted. 3 ults for either side, a few more on the way for the attackers, so actually it's 4 ults here, but now the Graviton coming out, it's a fantastic Transcendence again from full auto, just trying to keep his team alive. It's only T2X who falls. That burst damage not healed down with the Transcendence off that pulse bomb, but now the Valkyrie coming in to get him back up, so they're still solvent. Whistling Butcher will fall, and now it's an advantage for the attackers. We'll get rezzed back, and now again it's kills going either side as the Reinhardt's fall. T2X and Lil Hulk both coming back up. Advantage the second rezzes from each of those Mercies, and the fight still in the thick of it. Good shatter here from Lil Hulk. Gets the pin in on his opposite Reinhardt there, and that's a big kill for them. T2X falling and trying to repel these defenders a little bit further. Starting to get the kills in the feed as Whistling Butcher and Lil Hulk each grab a couple. Finally will fall there. The Graviton coming in from Vinny catches just Ryukin, who has melted down. Brewmaster and Whistling Butcher remain, but I think the defense will hold here.
My ultimate is on.
Again, Eternity not wasting any time coming to this next engagement, looking to attack quickly. Regret Sin caught out behind. Now it's only less than 60 seconds on the clock for the attackers trying to take this point. Coming around the corners, a lot of damage for them, all hiding behind that little Hulk shield. Regret Sin trying to flank, but privy to it is the Diva there. Regret Sin looking for him. The defense wrapping up nicely here. I think he did fall. Rezzed immediately, and now it's a Vinny push off the edge, but I think it still is the defenders with the advantage. Time for one more engagement, probably before the overtime meter ticks down, and Sevenfold struggled early on in this game, really holding well here. And something we saw from the Crisis Red and Squad game last night. Squad pushed the first 2 points very quickly, much like we saw here, even faster through the B checkpoint, and then held here. Crisis Red able to come all the way back through after a 5-minute defense and won the game. So we'll see if that, if we see a similar thing happen here. The Sound Barrier coming out, helping the attackers as Shadow comes in, and it will be a very strong attack from them, getting all the kills. They need full auto kill, the only one alive there in the back. Blur actually coming back with the Valkyrie, however, and grabbing 2, even though it looks like they will all fall. Vinny the only one left to be out. That's good kills from them, and it's just going to be ult charge for the attackers. As this goes into overtime, more than enough members available to continue contesting. The self-destruct maybe comes in, or maybe trying to bait it out rather from, or bait out other ults from the opposite team, but nothing coming through for Regression, not close to that ult just yet. Now it's again Sevenfold dropping here as Eternity starts to get the kills they need. Another Graviton coming out, catches them there, and a fantastic rocket barrage here from Max Stanky just to wrap up. I think that's 4 or 5 people. Overtime meter will tick down. I'm actually not sure if they capped it or not. Wow, in overtime, yeah, the Max Stanky rocket barrage able to take out just about everybody. I thought I saw one more person on the point, but just far enough to make it count for them. And a solid defense right there at the death for Sevenfold. Now they know if they just push it all three, no need for extra rounds. They can take it right here, force that third map. But what a for a second one there on thought I had the replay from McStinky's Rocket Barrage. Didn't quite get it for you guys, but we can see that. So now coming into this next round, it's going to be sevenfold, like I said, with everything to play for, and they know what they need to get to. Obviously right there at the end, but getting all the way through will win them this game. So it'll have to be a strong defense from Eternity, who had that strong attack in the first round, but not quite able to pan out the way they would have liked. For these now defenders, Chesko again on the Mercy, Whistling Butcher going Roadhog. Gru switching to Soldier, Little Hulk on Rissa, Ryukin on McCree, Pingu going Lucio. It's actually Ryukin, they switch over to that Tracer. For the attackers, T2X on Diva, Vinny going Zarya, some very solid Gravitons in the last round. Blur again on the Mercy, full auto going Zenyatta, Regret Sin. Winston, McStinky going Fair with it. Fantastic yet unseen Weiss. Rocket Barrage.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Now jump to the high ground, Regrets in, trying to get away from a little bit of damage. They're going to flank around the side and maybe close in all at once. The point's starting to be contested. Both tanks are up top, and now the defenders holding well, able to take down Vinny early, which will help them. They do have a short respawn and a long time to continue defending. McStanky and Full Auto start getting kills, but as Pingu answers back, it's a 4v4. Regretson now falling, and I think things may be going the way of the defenders. But not to worry, for Sevenfold, again, a lot of time to continue coming back into this point. They get T2X out of mech, but the pilot will be able to get away there. Trying to get that mech back, some damage coming in. But once again, solvent, the defenders have all the members they need on point to continue this defense. The attackers coming back in very quickly. A lot of damage, but nothing sticking. Now full auto kill getting the kill on Little Hulk. Solid one on that Orisa. They'll use that as their initiation, all pushing into the point. And starting to earn a percentage. It could be a tick for them here in a second, but actually still contested as they start to earn it. That will be stick percentage for them, 35.2, and continuing to build as they come back into the point very aggressively. Yeah, Pingu trying to get that sound barrier off, I believe did, and is able to heal up his team. Still continuing to take a little bit more percentage, but it looks like they will be able to hold on and defend well here. Pingu getting that sound barrier off the very last minute. It was Vinny going after him, able to get away. Help his team out there, and they hold. A tick gone for them, but not the worst possible outcome considering how quickly they took this first point. They'll take a lot from that, but now the Dragon Blade coming out from Vinny looking to get a couple. Will take Chesko down in the back, grabs another on Brewmaster, and not quite done just yet. Regretson and the rest of his team members coming back in to help take this point, and that will be finally a cap for them on A.
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
So not quite as quick, but still a very solid attack from them, able to take that point. Getting a good kill on Brewmaster, going after Little Hulk. Vinny just causing a lot of problems for these defenders. They don't really have an answer for him just yet. Going after Ryukin, just an amazing series of plays there for him. And now definitely a little bit slower for that A checkpoint, but could finish up this Streets phase very quickly if this attack up front continues for them. Blur and Ryukin back there supporting, or rather McStanky helping to support Vinny on the back to get those kills. And already halfway through the Streets phase, we'll continue pushing out here a little aggressively and hopefully be able to avoid another team fight, have a lot of time on the clock going into that C checkpoint. And the self-destruct coming in. Will grab Chesko, that's a big kill for them. Things really going the way of Sevenfold here, getting a lot of these kills. And Vinny once again with the Dragon Blade, just going completely off, grabbing a couple supports, and that's going to be Sevenfold wrapping up the second checkpoint very quickly. Now 4 minutes and 39 seconds to know exactly where they need to get to tie this game up and force the third round for the win. Looking at ult economy, sitting in a good position too here. Blur with the Valkyrie, full auto kill with the second support ult, the Transcendence. McStanky with a Rocket Barrage. So should she see those there pretty soon. Just looking for a good opportunity to use it, but they'll have to get through that little Hulk shield first. Now the sound barrier coming in from Pingu will help to keep these defenders alive, but albeit shortly. Groupmaster able to get the kill on Regret Sin. T2X out of Mac. Vinny dropping, and now it's the entire team of Sevenfold dropping here, and it will be a good team win for Eternity. Still a long way to continue defending though, but able to win that early fight, and obviously with the shorter respawn in a better position here. Now coming back into this next engagement. McStanky with another triple in the Rocket Rush, just completely going bananas on the fair right now, but the Chesko Valkyrie will res 2 of those back. However, the Transcendence here from full auto kill, continuing to keep the attack alive. A very good pin there in deep. T2X able to get the kill on Little Hulk, helping out with McStanky there. Crewmaster now in the tactical advisor trying to answer back to the defense, but we'll get Vinny, who's been an issue for them so far. The Rocket Barrage from the other side, Ryukin not nearly as effective as T2X able to take him down. Pingu getting another one back on his opposite support, but I think this will be an Eternity hold. Though, as I say that, now the Valkyrie coming out from Blur, able to pick up 2 Retson and full auto back in the fold. McStanky a little bit low, but able to avoid Brewmaster on the Soldier. I do like they finally did switch to that hit scan to try and take care of him here. Graviton coming out from Wisdom Butcher, sublimely timed, will catch a couple. They have the damage to wrap them up somewhat. Though, as I say that, not even really. Sevenfold able to get the kills from within the Graviton and continuing to push the payload. Ryukin maybe looking for a sneaky flick. Stanky not going to be fooled at all. Trying to get him down, but now in a tough spot. Could go down, but low on health, getting healed from his teammates now. The Shadow coming in from Little Hulk. May have caught 1 or 2, but Vinny's starting to get a couple kills. Now switching to the McCree. 2 headshots there on members of Eternity, and it's still Sevenfold continuing to push this. Nobody will be able to contest this point, I don't think. But to say that Chesko coming back to try and stall as long as possible, will take care of him very quickly. And a solid second round win. 7F. Yeah, and the Rocket Barrage, I was able to get a first-person perspective here, but able to use this to take out 5 and essentially end that point. Play the game in all regards, able to take out all the members and help push that payload, or rather stop the payload, and give them the opportunity to win that game 3-2. So impressive from Sevenfold. We get the map pick from Eternity, all to play for here in the 3rd round. We'll be right back.
Hard work is its own reward.
Welcome back to Week 2 of the OWXL League. This is the champion tier between Sevenfold and Eternity Esports, all tied up going to the 3rd tie-breaking round. After Sevenfold came back on King's Road there after dropping on Oasis to tie it up 1-1. Solid game so far. Obviously, you see going the distance, all 3 rounds on Oasis. Hopefully we'll see the same. The next map is Nepal, Eternity Esports pick, and hoping they can replicate their success on the first control point to take the map. Like we mentioned earlier, both these teams coming into this game with a win in Week 1. and looking to continue that momentum going into week 3 undefeated. But knowing they have Nepal in front of them. So make sure we get all the lobbies to be straightened out here. Make sure everybody's all squared away, and we'll get started here for you. Again, if you'd like to catch any of the games that we streamed last week, or any of the ones that we're going to do this week, I think most of them are over the weekend. You can always check that out on the Twitch channel. We archive all the games. You can watch those back at your leisure. We try and upload them to YouTube as well, so they don't get deleted off the archive for Twitch. So you should make sure there's no substitutions coming through. Looks like it will be King Domoje coming in for Brewmaster. Didn't get to see King Domoje throughout this game. Did play in the first game. And I believe Chesko's plays. So we'll see how they shift up here. They have quite a bit of flexibility in their comp, so not sure exactly where he'll slide in. I think we may have seen a little bit of Zenyatta, if I'm not mistaken, in week 1. So it could be coming in as another healer. Ping has been playing support so far, so is Chesko. One could end up switching. A lot of options. But again, we'll get the readies from both captains and be with you in just a second. Alright, thank you guys for your patience. Just wanted to make sure everybody was all squared away, but it looks like we are ready to go. So we'll kick it off here to Nepal.
Traveling to Nepal.
Okay, just to recap, it was Eternity coming back to win on the first control point, Oasis, the weekly map here. So looking to get the win on a second control point on Nepal. This is their map pick after dropping on King's Row. Sevenfold showing they have a little bit of fight in them looking to win the game here. Opening up for these teams, the blue side, once again, sevenfold going T2X on Diva, Vinny on McCree, Blur 7F on Mercy, Full Auto on Lucio, Regret Sin going Roadhog, McStinky on Pharah. For the red team, Eternity Esports, it's Chesko on Mercy, Whistling Butcher on Zarya, Brewmaster on the Tracer, Lil Hulk on Reinhardt, Ryukin on the McCree, Pingu opting for Lucio.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
Now attacking very quickly, it's both teams with Lucio looking to get that speed and meeting each other here in the center. Nobody want to be disadvantaged too. I actually like this one on Nepal, this map specifically, because the high ground provides. The defending team has a bit of an advantage, but a lot of creative ways for the attack to come in. As I say that, the kills going either side, Vinny getting one, and being the one loss for his side, as Whistling Butcher is able to grab him there. It's a 5v5 as Lil Hulk falls, T2X giving sevenfold the advantage, and I think, as I say that, Blur 7F is the one that went down for them, and it might be Eternity Esports point. They have just about most of it, able to grab it just momentarily as the members of 7F get off the point, but I think there's about 4 of them available looking to get those kills. Chesko falling will be a huge win for them as Regret Sin is able to grab him there. And continuing this fight, but again, the control point earning, or rather going the way of Eternity so far. They're the ones building percentage as much as sevenfold holds up to this contention. Though, as I say that, able to wrap it up here, 18% gone, and gladly stuck with it, able to wipe down those defenders. And sitting here in a good position. 2 ultimates to consider. Full Auto has a sound barrier, and Regret Sin on your stream here with a Whole Hog. Lil Hulk with a shatter on the other side. Whistling Butcher who's used, or on the Zarya rather, could use a Graviton. But now Lil Hulk getting stuck in a tough position. The Whole Hog comes out from Regret Sin to repel him. And Vinny for sevenfold gets the kill on Brewmaster, again with the advantage as this next point. As this next attack kind of dies down before it really even starts. Now the Rocket Rush from McStinky again, huge, able to grab 3 and just doing a fantastic job on that Pharah to cause issues for the opposite team. They're just having a really difficult time dealing with them, so much so that they had to switch to Soldier. By the way, Kingdom J ended up not coming in. Brewmaster is staying on, that's why you don't see him here. But played the Soldier on King's Row, able to handle McStinky just to some degree, but still just doing really well on Pharah. Ults for either side, they've been a little bit conservative about using them so far. Now the sound barrier coming to initiate with the shatter from Lil Hulk directly into a Graviton surge here. It's a very comprehensive wrap up here for Eternity Esports, combining well using the Pulse Bomb Brewmaster, grabbing 3 in the feed, taking that point right back. Now the Graviton coming out, maybe combining with the Deadeye. McStinky falling has been an issue for Eternity Esports, but finally getting rid of him there. T2X getting 1, but Blur is going to add 1 back for them. McStinky getting rezzed. Vinny getting kills once more, and it could be sevenfold taking back this point. Looks like things are kind of going their way. His control point really going back and forth, 55% for Eternity Esports. Could be about 57, 58 by the time the point flips back. And 66 here for sevenfold on the front foot and looking to get this win on the ball. Now as the control point starts to tick up 85, 86%, Eternity Esports will have to come back and engage quickly. Lil Hulk gets caught out from behind in a tough spot. Whistling Butcher had taken down McStinky, but once again, Res Blur now in the Valkyrie, having used both ultimates, or rather both resurrections with that ultimate. Sound barrier from Pingu should help the team momentarily, but now as it hits overtime, Eternity know they need to win this fight. Full Auto continuing to be a bother. A few ults here for Eternity, but Little Hulk, who was taken down early on in the fight, now finally back, able to use that Shatter should he get the opportunity. Tactical Visor on hand for Ryukin here very shortly, but now it's the pin from Little Hulk after that Shatter. Very successful for them. They may start to be able to earn the percentage back on this point. Maxtanky's still alive, but taken down by this Valkyrie and Chesko. And they will be able to wrap this point at the death. Get up to 58, 59, 60%. I'm getting switching over to the Genji. But straight into a Graviton coming back in. Eternity in a good position here. All the members caught, but no one really capitalizing on that. T2X the only one coming away with a kill on Little Hulk. They had all the damage there. Interesting to see that there weren't more members that came down. Regret Sin now using the Whole Hawk to push members off the point. The sound barrier from Pingu will be crucial for them, just trying to keep everybody alive once more. Valkyrie coming out here for Blur, rather, trying to keep that team alive. Chesko very close to earning one as well. Maxtanky using the Rocket Barrage to grab another, but now Valkyrie, or the Graviton coming out from T2X, trying to grab some kills. Not quite able to make it count though. It will be the first round going to Eternity Esports. This matchup proving as juicy as I hoped it would be. Eternity Esports taking the early lead here on Nepal, looking to wrap up this game, win Week 2 matchup, going to Week 3 undefeated. Not a Sevenfold have anything to say about it though, looking to get the win here, force the third round in Nepal. And like they forced the third round of this game, it took. Able to come back and win here. Reeling a little bit, backs up against the wall. They know they need to win this. It's all over for them. Still a long season. These teams will get an opportunity to rematch, but I think you want to assert yourself a little bit early on, especially against teams of this caliber. Now just damage coming in, no one really taking supremacy, but now it's Maxtanky falling on the Doomfist. We don't see a lot of Doomfist play in the league, but difficult to suffer there. Eternity has the advantage coming into the point as it opens up. They start to build a percentage here, and I think it will be... I was going to say, I think it might be Sevenfold backing off a little bit. Looks like they still might. T2X the only one still on the point. Vinny trying to contest as well. Blur staying a safe distance, but finally the control point will go for Eternity. And again, they're well on the way to winning this game. Vinny continuing to be a problem, but finally pulled there by Whistling Butcher, able to focus him down. And it'll be Sevenfold again looking to retreat and find another way into this control point. Auto not quite able to take down Brewmaster, but does get res there. Now it's both Mercies going down for either side via double headshots, and once again Sevenfold's trying to look for an opportunity to get into this point. Full auto kill with the Transcendence here, could use that to re-engage. They actually have 3 ults, but 5 on the other side, as Eternity is in a really good position here. Coming up to 42, 43% on the control point. Sevenfold can't deliberate too long rather before they come in for this next fight, but now it's a sound barrier from Pingu, maybe anticipating the attack, grabbing a couple. Dragon Blade coming out here, and the Whole Hog as well from Whistling Butcher, trying to clear a few people out, but Sevenfold getting the kills as T2X and Vinny combined well. Chesko able to answer one back, Vinny not done yet on the Dragon Blade, grabbing his opposite Genji. The Whole Hog here from T2X able to push a few off the point, but it's still definitely firmly Eternity Esports who have control of the point, though. I have to say that it's going to be Sevenfold able to take this back. 70% gone for them. They start to earn a little bit of percentage as this control point takes their direction. Having to regroup for the first time here on the second round. Eternity earned quite a bit of percentage on their first possession, but now we'll have to re-engage this stingy Sevenfold defense. A lot of ulti use in that last fight, still a couple for either side, but Stinky with the Rocket Barrage they do so very well. Blur with the Valkyrie. Lil Hulk as a supercharger, Brewmaster with the Pulse Bomb. Coming in here, it's Vinny that falls first. TY1 Pingu, I think, getting the boot there. Brewmaster answers one back. Maxtanky once again going off the feed where it's been so familiar. Ryukin able to take down Regrets, and kills really going back and forth as Eternity really start to come back into the point here. The Rocket Barrage make around from Stanky here shortly. There's a few grouped up and looking for a good opportunity to get some kills, but may not even need it, as I think the damage is enough to repel these attackers. Still sitting in a good position, looking to continue the defense. Sevenfold in an okay spot, but I think it is maybe more of the members of, and that is going to be Eternity rather coming back into the point, but a good double there from Stanky will help them stay alive here on the point. But as it starts to flip back, still a contest coming in from Vinny on that Genji and causing problems. The Valkyrie from Shesko gets a few back up. They really need to take this point as the percentage starts to tick past the point they currently have. But now trying to continue the stall, it's full auto kill with Transcendence helping the members of his team back in, then may be able to hold this point. Ooh, good pull there from T2X. That'll be a significant kill for them, taking down that tank. They're at 81%, 82%. I'm looking very dominant on the point as Chech goes in a tough spot. Goes down there in the feed, coming completely blue for Sevenfold. They should be able to wrap up this fight, to be sure. And, Eternity's not careful. They may stagger into the point and lose it entirely. 95% here. I don't know if anybody's close enough to contest this. They just go their way. So as I say, that low hold trying to get back in, using the speed boost there from Pingu to get back onto the point. The overtime does come out, and Vinny's out with the Dragon Blade. Trying to get a couple, grabs a double kill there with a dash, resets and going back in. Not able to get anything else, but the 2 kills may be enough to help him hold this point. Very strong attack from him. Continuing to go in and get those kills. The entire Sevenfold team just about on fire. They'll wrap it up for them, and they take round 2.
My ultimate is charged.
My ultimate is charging.
Now down to the wire. I think we had a game last week that was like this. It was might have been Squaw against, I think it was DSC, Drunken Shimada Clan. Squaw came out and took the first round on Ike, and while DSC answered back, I think it was on Junkertown. Then Squaw answering back on Lijiang Tower. Then we had another one last night that also went 3, control point to end. Went down to a 1-1 tie for the 3rd round, so I like the level of competition in Season 3. Got some well-balanced teams, and it's really exciting to watch. Coming in early, and again, nobody wanted to fall too quickly. Vinny getting the kill on Chesko, that's huge for them coming in. Want to attack the point quickly. Vinny again just going completely bonkers in the feed, grabbing those 2 there. Big kills for them as T2X adds 1 more on Crewmaster. And now Stanky also getting the kills. I don't think there's going to be a single member of Eternity Esports left on the point when it finally does open up. Sevenfold coming in with some brash, able to take the point very quickly.
My ultimate is charging.
All 6 members that have shown us how it's done. Very strong push. Now Vinny back at it as soon as Eternity tries to come back in, getting the damage, but now Brewmaster getting the better of him. It's going to be their advantage coming to the point as it starts to tick that direction. Already halfway gone for them as Sevenfold finally comes back in. An early Rocket Barrage from Stanky will pick up 4. And seriously, you think that they'd be able to handle that by now. Just expect those fantastic Rocket Barrage. They're really going to take in that point if not for that combination there. And Stanky putting through an MVP performance so far. Now as Eternity comes back into engage, looking for a good opportunity, but full auto kill is ready for it and does have the sound barrier, could use it here shortly. Joined by 4 of his teammates with ults as well, 3 on the other side. Brewmaster about to have 1. This next fight should be very exciting, but now it's a Dragon Blade coming out from Vinny. Looking to get a couple in after Chesko once more, and the sound barrier may not be enough to protect him, though. As I say, that Dragon Blade ends, no kills in the feed for him. And now Brewmaster trying to get a couple kills, but wary of that deflect there, and Vinny finally does fall after not really being able to be as successful maybe with that ult as he would have liked. It's now Eternity earning percentage on the points, 67% gone for them. But still 3 ults for this next attack, and 2 they need to be aware of. However, Stanky coming back in with another Rocket Barrage will be crucial, has used them so well this game. And it'll be important for them to be conscientious of where he is and make that a non-issue.
You should be at peak performance level.
It's going to come in with the Rocket Bars. This one not nearly as effective, but able to get the Whistling Butcher and force the res from Chesko. Chesko might be in Valkyrie actually, and actually is. Grabs another one on Brewmaster, so now they're still at 6v6. Graviton, however, coming in. Didn't actually see that. May have been eaten or something. I don't know if anybody was caught in that, but now Keel's kind of going either way, as it looks like Eternity has a bit of the advantage, trying to get the kills they need. Blur trying to res a couple back for the now attackers, but I think they still have pretty firm control at this point. Yeah, it'll be Sevenfold having to retreat. T2X switching to Zarya. Could be a good switch to them. There have been some really solid Gravitons in this game, so that could be what they need to disrupt this Eternity defense. 67% for Sevenfold looking to attack again. 80% for the now defending Eternity Esports. Continues to climb as they come into the final section here. It'll just be probably one more team fight. Unless Sevenfold can take this point back. An early sound barrier here from Pingu again, just to anticipate the attack and keep the damage at bay. May have used it too soon there. I think it'll wear off before the attack, before Sevenfold even comes in to engage, but we'll see if it'll still be helpful. The Primal Rage coming out, but a good pin here from Little Hulk, not quite as effective as now it's Sevenfold getting the kills. Volato, the unlikely one, getting the double in the feed and continuing to wrap up here is Sevenfold. Eternity Esports will not be able to continue their hold on the point. It starts to go the other direction.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Really solid push there, concise, and now it's some of their biggest ultimates really coming up. Vinny with the Dragon Blade, and it's McStanky with that Rocket Bars. They've used those ultimates to really change the tide of these fights. And just the Pulse Ball on the other side, they will have the Shatter, and Chesko's Valkyrie will be incredibly helpful as Eternity comes back into contest. But now the Rocket Barrage coming back in from McStanky very early, able to take out Brewmaster, gets res early as Chesko comes out with the Valkyrie. Still a 6v6, but now it's the Dragon Blade coming in. Vinny in the back, going for Pingu. The Shadow will stop him in his tracks, however, it's Ryukin and Lil Hulk combined well to take him down. The point flips back the way of Eternity Esports, and the contest continues for Sevenfold. I don't think they expect to lose the point that quickly, but trying to continue this fight going. Lil Hulk swinging as much as possible. Both Mercies trying to keep their members up as Vinny is res there by Blur. I believe in Valkyrie and able to pick up Chesko, which would be a huge win for them. The point looks like it's starting to flip back a little bit. 7F may actually be able to pull this off, wrap up the kills there, and it's another contest, a late contest, trying to keep the point from flipping back over, but not able to do so. Overtime meter ticks down. Sevenfold taking this game.
Play of the game.
Incredibly impressive performance here from McStanky. Like I said, it needs to be my MVP. This Rocket Barrage was just too clutch, and I don't think Eternity Esports took him seriously enough. But just really solid plays throughout the game, able to get a good group up there. Just fantastic kills. But awesome play all the way around. And congratulations to Sevenfold for getting this. I think this game could have gone either way. Eternity Esports looks to regroup and come back in week 3. We'll get some post-game thoughts here right after the short intermission, so stick around, we'll be right back. Oh man, what a game. Congratulations again to Sevenfold, coming from all the way down, losing on Oasis. Coming back, Kings Row, after a very strong defense on the first point, holding Eternity at bay, coming back through, getting a solid win there, then coming down 1-0 to take a 2-1 on Nepal and win this game 2-1. Impressive from them. Definitely a strong team, like I said, in Season 2. Little bend don't break from them in this game. Got down somewhat, but able to get back in on the shoulders of Next Stanky, helping out his team there, getting the kills to change the tide of those fights. But honestly, if we're being honest, all these players played incredibly well, and that was a lot of fun to cast. Glad you guys joined me. Looking at this next week for both these teams, it's going to be Big Throws playing Eternity Esports, looking to bounce back and get a win in Week 3 against Big Throws, who still need to play the Week 2 game, but they're also looking for looking for their first win of the season, so maybe they can get that against Atlas A. Speaking of which, Sevenfold will be playing Atlas A in this next week. The map of the week will be Dorado. I haven't seen a lot of payloads yet, so I'm excited to bring that game to you as well. Like I said, guys, if you're looking for some OWXL action this weekend, you're in luck. We've got quite a few games from the Champions here. The other game from this side, Big Throws and Atlas A, will play tomorrow, 13th, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific. In the rival tier, at 8 p.m. Eastern, we've got Revenant and Hogbin Esports, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 6 Pacific. Sorry, 5 Pacific. And after that, Positive Toxicity and N7, 9 p.m. Eastern, and Beats by Lucio at Daddyland, 10 p.m. Eastern. So already the season's shaping up, and it's been a lot of fun so far. Of all that action for you, definitely get into the Discord. If you're not already and stay up to date with everything OWXL, there's a link on the website, OWXleague.com. You can also find scores, standings, schedules, all that good stuff on the site as well. So be sure to check that out. Again, if you missed any of the action from Week 1, we've got those games for you on the stream, archived, and quite a few on YouTube as well. I'll make sure all those are uploaded shortly, so you can watch those at your leisure. Other than that, I think that'll do it for me. But I appreciate you guys watching with me here. I know those Overwatch League games are on, so again, if you're catching this, I really do appreciate it. But again, we are Twitch affiliated, so if you have a Prime subscription, you want to support the league, toss us a subscribe. Really helpful, and help us get prizes and things for the teams, for tournaments as well, just kind of support the league in general. If you already subscribed, really appreciate it. Every little bit helps, so thanks, guys. But that will do it for the Overwatch X League. I'm Salt and Pepper, and we'll see you next time. I like that from them. Just continue defending the point as they creep. Out from the Redson to propel him. And Vinny for Sevenfold gets the kill on Crewmaster. Again with the advantage as his next point. This next attack kind of trying to get a couple, perhaps a double kill there with a dash, resets, and going back in, not able to get anything else, but the 2 kills may be enough to help them hold this point. Very strong attack from him.